Welcome to episode 6 of the Go Home Show.
Yo.
We are live.
We are straight live. We're streaming live. We're gonna get that episode on the YouTube, on the Spotify, and the Suitor gonna be non-existent iTunes.
Damn. Let's take a few minutes.
Let's say a few minutes. No more $3 songs anymore.
Everybody built up their library just to get shut down.
Facts.
Feds did a sweep.
All day, but we good. We coming back. We got my man Malcolm
What's going on?
coming in with straight hot take.
Straight hot take.
The straight hot take.
How's it going? How's everybody's weekend?
Weekend was lit. Still recovering.
Recovering from what? What's going on?
Shit happened in the weekend. You don't talk about it.
All right.
Yeah, Friday.
What happens in the weekend stays in the weekend.
Got you.
Wow, it was cool, y'all. We had some trips. We had liquor. We had
Smoked some cigars. We had a good time.
It sound like you was on your street profits.
Oh no, not me. Yeah,
Ooh.
all of us together as a collective. We all was lit this weekend, and we actually doing an episode on a Sunday. The first.
Yes.
The first.
No, first time for everything.
First time, and a new angle.
New angle.
Catch us on
New
YouTube.
angle. We putting that work in. So anyone who says that we don't do shit, Sunday night we in here. We're recording. We still could be popping bottles. I'm still am. If you see me, I'm popping this really like smart water.
That's a rock water. I'm surprised Diddy don't got his own water.
Oh, he probably does.
That Diddy water.
We just not that high fashion enough to afford it yet.
Not in
Get
our
that-
tax bracket.
Exactly. We're not about it.
That Diddy water. All right, watch 2020. He's coming out with water.
He gonna be like, popping water. Got that rosé flavor water. That's what's gonna happen.
Yes.
Get that
but
coconut
we'll get in
from the French Alps.
to the nitty gritty wrestling. Busy city.
There's a lot to talk about.
Everything.
You
A lot
know,
to talk about. A lot of things.
I guess the start of the month.
Start of the month.
Start of the year.
Nah, not start of the year. We still got mad yet. But it started a month.
I mean, that's the hot take some seeing. Like,
we got half the year. We got a lot going on. We got a lot to cover. We got Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing. AEW making himself an impact. Definitely creating some noise. Fresh off NXT TakeOver 25.
Yes.
No surprise. Still knocked it out of the fucking water. You know,
That's crazy. 25 shows and not a bad one in a bunch.
no, I honestly I can't remember if there was even a bad TakeOver show.
Not a bad one in a bunch.
So the boys down in Florida, they're doing big things down there.
yeah, H don't sell no mid.
Nah.
And Triple H trapping that wrestling.
Until-
Yo, speaking about trapping,
Until one of his kids get brought up and Daddy Vince just completely ruins a whole man or woman's career. He's just like, no. We're going to give you a cape. And we're going to change your name and just give you one first name. That's it. $1 million idea.
that's the main roster introduction and falling in line.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vince's ideas, somebody this week definitely doesn't like his ideas.
Ooh, who you talking about? What this tea you trying to bring about?
I mean, he used to go by Ambrose.
Ambrose.
Or the
That rings a bell.
Nah.
That don't ring no bell.
We can't talk about that actually.
It rings a $500 bell, but
Yeah. I heard we can't use certain WWE names outside. It's copyright infringement.
I
mean-
shouldn't. I actually like Moxley. I feel like it fits him.
Well, that was his name before he came in.
Yeah, that's what I'm
as
saying.
Dean Ambrose, Johnny Moxley, Mr. CZW himself, Mr. Deathmatch and Hardcore all day, 24/7.
CZW. Is he probably like one of the biggest to come out of CZW? I think he's like the biggest star.
He's definitely one of like the biggest guys. I know Daniel Bryan has done some stuff with CZW.
But he wasn't like a CZW guy. He just like
Everybody dabbled and dabbled, but Dean Ambrose was definitely one of those big CZW guys.
What are y'all thoughts on the podcast?
I liked it. It just basically confirmed what everybody. See, the funny thing was when people would talk about how Vince is like brain dead or like there needs to be creative changes. The WWE lovers, I'm not saying I'm hating y'all, but y'all would just say you guys don't know what you're talking about. You know.
And if somebody doesn't know what we're talking about, referring to, we're talking about the Talk is Jericho podcast featuring the emancipation of Johnny Moxley. If you guys haven't gotten a chance to really listen to it, trust me,
It's really good.
It's a good hour and a half, good listening.
Doesn't pull no punches.
No punches, It just kind of goes to one of those things where you got disgruntled talent that talk about exactly what it's like to work with the WWE creative process.
I mean, what you call it disgruntled? I mean, he was very.
Look, I'm trying to be polite about it.
Nah, he was disgruntled.
He was disgruntled.
Put in like you said, like a little corporate way. He was disgruntled.
You know, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, well, we could go through the breakdown of some of the stuff that he went over, his relationship with Vince, and just producers in general and stuff,
And just
like,
a lot of people.
Yeah, just like the thing I took away from it was like how he would go, like Vince would know like right away that he's coming to his office. Like he knew like I guess what he was selling him, what he was writing him was trash in I guess John's mind, but you know he tried to gear it to him, and then year after year he would just like I guess be the company guy and like do the take for Vince, and then he just hit his breaking point with some of the stuff he said, like the Doctor angle, Roman, you know. He did a follow-up episode, and then he discussed that Roman did not like want to partake in that little joke too. So that was a little bit crazy right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like my first point when people was like, we don't know what we're talking about, because even when he said that line, people was like, oh no, they signed off on it. Like everybody agreed that he could say cancel.
Look, some people called it tasteless, but I do remember that angle very clearly. He did talk about pretty much bashing Roman about having cancer. Was it fucked up? Yeah, but in some sick way, I kind of understood it. It's like it was definitely a low blow and a cheap way to get some heat.
I was about to say, get heat.
That's exactly how he described it. And I know he felt uncomfortable about it. I guess in some ways I knew exactly where Vince was coming from, where he was just like, okay, you know what? You basically now... They tease how he was just turning back on the shoe. He was turning on Seth. He was turning on Roman. Roman was going to, to go away, take care of his situation. And yeah, like I saw kind of what was happening. I thought it was a good way to kind of really get that really good heat on him. Could have been a little below the belt. Some might have their own different opinions on that. I was all cool and gravy about it. Some may not. Some people might have been
I think the way that the Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose feud like went after that, like sort of like dampened it, like it watered it down. Like if it would have been a big like epic feud, like people probably wouldn't. But like since it was like so trash, like they went out, they waited to do that joke, and then what happened after that was like,
well, they changed it afterwards.
Yeah, after they realized he wasn't signing back, they just
like he was just like, all right, cool. Now all of a sudden you're going back to babyface, and it was just done just like that. That's when he was just like, oh, you know what? Go slay the beast, and just drop the mic and just walk. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. There's no long-term book.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And I'm kind of glad that he kind of clarified,
like exposed it a little bit.
Yeah, because at the same time, like the way the WWE was doing, we're going about this, I thought it was work. I was like, there's no way that I've never heard anyone who's about to leave the company and they're making a whole big thing about it, even putting, a press release on it. That's for me. That's something that's unprecedented. I've never heard anything about that. Even top guys, even if you had someone like Stone Cold who was leaving, or even The Rock, I've never in my entire life.
It'll be like a week before they be like, oh, this is Stone Cold's last match.
No,
like
not even. It's just kind of like, okay, this was your last match. You go, you ride off into the sunset. You'll get your FedEx envelope wishing you your best in future endeavors. Yeah. That's how it is. You get your walking papers, but for them to legit, like how he said, they wanted to control the narrative, I've never seen that in my entire life.
Yeah, because like you said, it was very odd. Because when news first broke out, I think it was like a Meltzer or somebody said Ambrose is leaving.
Yeah.
And then the official WWE, there was like, it's already out, might as well. Then it was like, oh, he's not going to re-up with his contract.
But it was WWE that kind of came up with that.
Oh, to come up with that.
They were the ones who put that out there. No one.
Mm-hmm.
Moxley himself didn't even. He never said anything. He never acknowledged anything.
He was very shocked on the episode. Like, yo, this is the first time in history this has ever happened.
Even Jericho himself was saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, it caught everybody by surprise.
Because I was thinking, because I know a lot of people, there was, when he made his debut at Double or Nothing, it was like, oh, what about, there's usually like a 90-day, like, no compete. No. But because this was like a weird one where the contract was actually fulfilled.
Exactly. So there is no 90-day
clause.
No, yeah, exactly. There's no clause on that.
They probably would have hit him with that because he did mention at one point that Vince wanted to extend it for the
Like that Rey Mysterio Frozen extend. If you heard,
but he was
like because they were supposed to do a big like Shield tour, like go on tour with it, like overseas.
No, but that was something completely different. He was just like, oh, I need you to stay an extra couple of months. You know, we wanted you to do this European tour. I really need you. You know, boom, Shield last reunion. We go to Europe and make it big. We're gonna sell crazy Shield merch.
This is how he sold Vince off. Like, nah, I'm filming a movie right now. He wasn't.
Oh, the little promo.
It was the promo, but at the same time, like I guess Vince was probably thinking, oh, he's doing like a big movie, but in reality, he's filming this promo to do other.
Yeah, because that's like the Vince's bubble. They don't think since they book everybody that the brand is bigger than the individuals. You know, they're shooting some movie. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just shooting some movie. They'll probably be on like Hallmark or something.
Yeah. It's like, but why can't you do this European tour? Because fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
But now I really like the Moxley interview with Jericho. It really like you said, showing a light on like what's going on in creative and like what these guys every week show up to and deal with.
Yeah. And it's not the first time I heard even you trying to get a meeting with Vince anytime there's a Raw or SmackDown event.
Oh, it's like unless you're like Triple H or the family.
It's tough. It's tough for you to sit down with a meeting for a live show. It's really the toughest thing. You're literally going to be there for about 45 minutes, an hour, maybe even more.
Waiting.
Yeah, it sounds like him, though. Like, a couple of times he mentioned, like, he's one of the few that got the privileges to, like, go in the office, like, straight away. Like,
no, there's some people that are just legit like that, but I've heard from a lot of people, a lot of talent, that
they don't want
going through creative process, it's really tough. There's very few people that have had the opportunity to kind of like, okay, you do your own thing. I know with Matt Hardy, he was one of those very few.
When he came over with the broken, they just let him.
They kind of let him do, because I know Matt Hardy, once he got his the rights to his broken gimmick from Impact Wrestling or Anthem, whatever it was fucking known at the time, because those I can get into a whole topic with that, because those dudes were fucking assholes. They even wanted to get the rights to Jeff Hardy's music. Yeah, I was like, what does this have to do with anything? But we can leave that for another episode.
I think Vince liked the broken thing, not only from a creative standpoint, but from a business aspect, because he know that would sell.
Yeah, it would definitely sell. So he was just like, we can do something with we can do something very similar. We'll make it the Woken gimmick, but the broken gimmick, I own that shit. So if I want to come back later and maybe do something outside of wrestling, outside of WWE, I know that I have complete full creative control over that. So he was definitely one of those people that had that freedom. Enzo was one of those guys that had the freedom to kind of write his own promos.
The best talker they had.
Yeah, and they were just like, you know what? Give us what you have. Maybe we'll revise it if anything. But that was a good thing. Same thing with Bray Wyatt. Everything you see now with the Firefly Funhouse, that's all Bray's idea. And from for a long time, he's kind of been able to like, okay, we're giving you a little bit of leeway. You guys go ahead and do that. So not a lot of people get a lot of creative control.
I think the New Day get like some freedom, I believe.
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes there are lines where that were said, and I still remember that rap battle with the Usos.
Oh yeah, Kaz wrote that does Wale Palooza. He was on board like doing with
the
Wale,
battle.
Yeah, with the battle and stuff like that.
Yeah, so like some people have it, and I know it's a bitch. And Vince, at the end of the day, he's going to have his own thing. A lot of people have been even complaining about how, hey, we have great ideas. But guess what? The boss is not going to greenlight this one. So a lot of people have been kind of going in with creative at the same time. Saying, oh, creative don't have anything for me. Sometimes they'll write stuff. But when they shoot it up the ladder, it's going to get either denied, it's going to get rewritten.
He was also saying how, like, when it comes down to Showtime, like, the final hour, like, stuff gets cut out.
Yeah.
It's just like
you can tell.
Him, Triple H, and, like, one other person's in the room, just a final production meeting.
But again, even Triple H, like, he's been having issues with, with the father-in-law as well. Because I know he's been very frustrated with, some of the kids that he has coming from NXT going up. He's like, what are you doing?
That are really good and
he's been
great.
I know he's been very frustrated, especially when when Finn Balor was given the call up. Same thing with someone like Asuka. How do you botch, especially having a talent like Asuka come up?
and Bailey. And it's like he's like we talked about in previous episodes, like he gives them all this momentum. So when you get to the main roster, they could probably capitalize.
Yeah.
But when it gets there, just whoosh.
And the only way you get a short title run is if you threaten to leave. Vince will give you the title, and he's just like, all right, 3 months, and then he's like, all right, you dropped it. That's it. I gave you some crumbs. Now shut the fuck up and go to the back of the line. That's exactly what it is. You know, Sasha right now, she's going through her shit right now where she wants nothing to do with anything right now. She's like, and I definitely give her 100% of where she's coming from with it. You know, they bring in the women's tag team titles, and they really wanted to make it mean something. So the fact that they had to go ahead and drop the titles
so quickly
like that at Mania, you know, I know her and Bailey, they were really pissed, but I know with Sasha, she was like, yo, like, this is not what the whole thing was planned.
Especially since they said they made the change that same day on Mania and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was legit. It was
like a slap in the face.
It was a slap in the face, and now it's kind of become a joke. As much as I love the Iconics for the comedic purposes, they really haven't done anything. They've really made those titles completely irrelevant.
Or like stand out with it.
Yeah, like they haven't done anything, and I think it's to a point where it's already lost its prestige. Like they need to really make something out of it. I think they'll probably make something, you know, at another takeover event. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the next time they'll probably have that title be defended or something. But it really does suck, and it's, you know, they haven't had those titles since probably like the late '80s. That was like the last time that anything like that, exactly that, was even relevant. You bring that back. You have
two very good. That's why I actually like when they won it, because the whole, you can go any brand. So to have Sasha and Bailey, if they were to go to NXT, like
that's exactly. Even though the women's division from top to bottom, it is kind of hurt. You have a lot of injuries, and it sucks. But that's just how it is. It's also too many titles, but everybody's going to say we have too many titles and maybe not enough time to really fill it in. But you know what? You don't have to fucking have every title being defended in the damn pay-per-view.
That is definitely true.
That's the thing. Like, you can have, you know, these important title matches on Raw, on SmackDown. I think that's, if you make it mean something on these live shows, then it'll bring something back, but it also get people more invested. It's like, oh no, we're just going to have this huge build-up, and then pay-per-view comes, and then we have to sit down through a 5 or 6 hour show. Like, it doesn't have to do that. Like, you don't have to have these matches at the pre-show.
That's true.
You know, a lot of people don't want to watch this pre-show. It's like, all right, I already have to take my entire Sunday to even watch this. Not everybody's gonna be that hardcore fan, and you know, we live in 2019 where not everybody has that attention span to actually sit down and watch this.
I mean, I guess where they're going with it next is with Asuka and Kairi. Mm-hmm. It looks like that's what they position next for them to be
the Kabuki
champs.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oof.
Which, by the way, to be honest, like, that was something that they came up with.
No, I know it came up with it. Just screams old WWE. Like,
no. Like, you don't understand. Like, these was what the girls came up with.
No, that's the thing, and
it was so hilarious because when the first, I think they had it was something Kabuki different, and I don't remember what the last
Kabuki
part
experience.
Probably. But it was just like, nah, let's just do Kabuki Warriors. I think it sounds a little bit more cleaner.
How do you think Vince's face was when he got presented that?
Kabuki.
He was just like,
sure?
Man, he down in NXT? Kabuki. Or something.
He's like, oh boy. But what you guys think, honestly, about this 24/7 title?
I like it.
I like it. Of course, like the Bray Wyatt promo, a lot of people overreacted and thought it was just gonna be a waste of time.
No.
What you mean with the 24/7 title?
Yeah, like when you get a chance, go on our Twitter page and just look through the timeline. A lot of people, a few of the things that they have done right, a lot of people have just been overreacted. The only bad thing, of course, the title looks bad, but
I actually like the title because it's a
WBC
goofy
title.
Yeah, it's a goofy title. Like the whole premise of that title is goofy.
But it works.
Yeah, so and the belt looks different than like the other standard belt. So it's like, I like it.
And I think it just gives a lot of people that's like on the mid or lower card something to do.
Yeah, run around, chase people on both cards.
You know, you don't have to just show up and just get your $500.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's gonna have their time to shine on the camera. But I think the fact that this title can be defended on all brands, it makes it interesting. I think that entertainment part of it, I think, is gonna get some people more involved. So there's a lot of different avenues that can go, from this.
I'm just waiting for like Carmella to just turn on R-Truth.
And then win it.
I think somehow she'll accidentally win it, and it's just like, I couldn't let this person win it, so I just did it. But I'm waiting for like some, like I love the same concept when they have the 24/7 title was like that with the hardcore title. I thought that was like the most entertaining thing ever. I still remember when Crash Holly had the title and he was defending it literally in baggage claim. Or at Chuck E. Cheese. Or even I think he also defended the title at Chuck E. Cheese.
It was that Fun Time USA about like Sheepshead Bay. Like,
yeah.
I used to go there all the time.
Like stuff like that, it does make it entertaining. I think the fact that now social media is a big thing. They don't always have to show it. They can just be like, hey, you know what? Let's just record this quick, 15-minute segment and let's kind of just shoot it from there.
It could be an up, down, down.
Yeah, and since Raw is such a long show, that just like
they don't have to. Yeah, like they can just legit. This could be its own thing somehow. That like we don't even have to put this on the show. Maybe we can once in a while we can just highlight it. But if you make it itself and you can just have somehow this title ends up being in, fucking NXT UK. Like I'm waiting for like something completely random, and everyone who knows me, like I will fucking make this title like not only entertaining, but there'll be some definitely interesting shit. Some different angles.
Yeah, like the gender thing today was very entertaining. He just showed up on the golf course.
Yeah. You got R-Truth and Carmella just chilling at the golf course.
I think R-Truth is like the perfect first.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's been a long time since they've kind of had. They always had like that person to be like, all right, we can kind of go with this gimmick. This person will make it happen, make it fun. Apart from R-Truth, it's been a long time. They used to have Santino Marella, who was that person. And it sucked because he was such an awesome wrestler, and then it just kind of became like he was goofy, and it kind of like brought him down. But at the same time, like he was, he had kind of like, go. He was able to go. Like he made it actual like Mr. Cell. That's who he was. He can make the shit work. So R-Truth is kind of like that person, and like this can actually work out.
I like the Maverick thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like it's like a conspiracy to keep.
Like he's like been chasing R-Truth around, like printing out like missing, like where's R-Truth at? And then it was a segment that happened, and then he ran into R-Truth, and he got his papers knocked down. Then he looked up, and he seen R-Truth like with the belt, and he dipped off on him.
Maverick 24/7.
I want to see if they do this like maybe like a Seth Rollins or like somebody that goes like power hungry and like grabs the belt.
People actually complain. Remember when he lost it on Raw, and then Roman was in the ring with him, and they was mad that Roman didn't win the strap from him and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's what the shit was.
Because I think if you would have if Roman Reigns would have gotten that title, I think it kind of would have given him a little bit more of that star power on it. So that's why a lot of people are kind of complaining about it. But I want someone who, who's up there to kind of make it interesting. We already know Brock Lesnar is not going to win this title. It just means he has to show up to work every Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. Or he can win the title and like retreat at the cabin and have
go in the middle of Canada. That would be honestly that would be the most fucking awesome thing. It's just like Brock Lesnar, is this title even worth it? Like this dude literally lives an hour outside of fucking town in the fucking woods in the middle of nowhere in Canada, in central Canada. I think that would be like a really cool, awesome. It would be an awesome thing. Like there's like do like some sort of when WWE does like that 24 the Chronicles, they're just have that one person. Or a perfect example like Matt Riddle, he's really about like I want to retire Brock, I want Brock Lesnar. Just like have that journey. Is like all right, we're gonna go to Canada, we're gonna beat Brock Lesnar, we're gonna get that 24/7 title.
That. Like if he held it like some crown jewel in the fortress and then like had like set up like booby traps or something for other wrestlers.
Well, who knows? It being Brock, he might probably just pull a fucking shotgun and just shoot you dead. He's just like, nobody's gonna do this. I don't give a shit about your fucking kids.
Thought you had me now, bitch, or some shit like that. I would legit watch like Home Alone, Kevin McAllister, Lesnar protecting that 24/7.
I think it would be like the most.
So that's what y'all think Brock should be.
No,
like
just saying, like that would.
Fuck it, why not?
That would legit be super entertaining.
I mean, are the ratings gonna get any worse? I'm pretty sure if you were to put the title on Brock Lesnar and you make it a thing, I'm pretty sure people will fucking watch.
They were like, "How can it be a 24/7 title?"
I popped when he had the Money in the Bank case. Yeah, like I was like, this is the most entertaining
The
Brock
Brock
been in
party.
years. Like,
I like the Brock party.
and people like, oh, Brock, you doing comedy. I'm like, he was
No,
doing comedy in
before.
03. Like,
This, I'm telling you, this is up there with Sombrero Brock.
Yeah, Brock
Those
Lesnar.
angles with Eddie Guerrero was just amazing. Same thing, even when he had him and Kurt Angle, they used to have like that really great rivalry where they
Oh,
used
that
to go
competition with the drinking in the
Yeah,
middle.
it-
Push-ups and stuff.
Yeah, it used to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, we already know that they won't give Brock the mic anymore because he'll say some real shit. They're like, we can't do this. We can't piss off any more fucking sponsors.
he smacked Paul Heyman with the paper.
He was like, what you mean? What you mean I can fucking get this title shot at any time I want?
He said, I got a year?
What? Fuck out of
I'm
here.
outta here. Yeah, that would have me dying.
That was actually a good swerve by like WWE because I remember during the show when they had the Sami Zayn thing and it was like, oh, we'll get another competitor and nobody came out. It was like, look, typical WWE. They ain't even bothered bringing in the 8th person, and then midway through the match, man, the fucking Lesnar theme. You know what I love about Brock Lesnar's theme? Every time that shit drops, everybody has like the Bambi reaction. Like, you know when you hear that riff, like some shit about to go down, and you just like stop, like, oh.
What was very interesting about that Money in the Bank title match is that originally they actually wanted Ali to actually win it. That was everybody's thought process going in. Ali's gonna go over, but truth be told, probably I think they said about an hour before their match, they only went up to Ali and they told him, "Hey, look, this is what's gonna happen. Someone's gonna come in, is gonna knock you off on top of the ladder. Just kind of giving you a heads up." Nobody else knew. Everybody was just told Ali's going over, and that's that.
Working the boys.
Working the boys.
I loved it. I loved that Brock came out.
Brock came out. Everybody. So a lot of people's genuine reaction when Brock came out was like,
Especially Money in the Bank. Like, that's not a Brock Lesnar pay-per-view unless he's holding the championship.
Yo, people reacted like it was the Red Wedding when Brock
Like-
came out. Oh my God, not again, Vince. I was dying. And it was a big pop when he came out.
It was.
I mean,
And then he's coming out with his, with his boombox. One of Vinnie Mac's brilliant ideas. Once in a while, the old man has something that's like, it can work. Some people want to believe it or not, but sometimes Brock is best for business.
When do you think Brock is cashing it in?
I don't know. They're making a whole thing that apparently tomorrow on Raw, he's going to say who he's going to cash it in. There's been, some...
And I'm glad they didn't take our idea, but they used like the one of the contracts should be able to go for both respective main titles rather than just your show you're on.
Brock 2 belts.
I think that
It's going to happen.
Wouldn't that be some shit if he could cash in on both?
He's going to be like, he's like, I want both titles. Make it happen.
That'd be dope for SummerSlam.
yeah, give something for Brock to do in the meantime, and then
And then you have both titles on hostage.
Yeah, because you can kind of tell like the brand split is slowly dying. They're trying to merge everything.
But they can't do.
slowly.
That's the thing, though. They can't afford it.
Okay.
The
Fox.
fact that the whole Fox and USA thing, Fox wants their
people.
They want their people. They want that to be its own brand, its own entity. So it has to happen. If you're gonna do it, you do it before the summer. Before that deal kicks in October.
this is why I felt like the brand split should have been at the SummerSlam.
After?
After SummerSlam. Like they did the first time when they brought back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it should have been after this SummerSlam. They should have
Yeah.
waited until
Yeah.
they're going into Fox. Oh, okay, I see.
Cause they wasn't prepared. Like they did the wild card thing. I don't know when they had the idea, but like you could tell like how
Oh, that
They
wild
like
card
cocaine.
thing.
they were sputtering off. Like they had,
Mm.
yeah, like things been.
Oh God! Like he even said, they came up with this rule. They don't even know what the hell the wild card rule is. The wild card rule is that every week when they show up to tapings, it somehow is going to change.
I seen like Shane McMahon like on every brand. Like what are you doing every
You're the
brand?
best in the world. You got to be in every
You
brand.
might
the
show up
best
to
in the world.
NXT UK next.
And wanted to Walton the boys. I don't know. Did you see that new stable they got down there? It's kind of lit. I like Walter.
Mm-hmm.
I never checked him out. Indy, did he have like a stable with him, or he was mostly like a solo?
He was kind of mostly solo.
So it's like his first taste of a stable.
Yeah.
Okay.
That 6-man tag is gonna bang.
Yeah, that's gonna be heat. And I think it's like 3 wrestling shows that day in August. They said. I think the 31st.
It's a New Japan one
AEW and in UK, I believe.
What are you talking about?
Like the next UK takeover.
Yeah.
It's on the same day as of a New Japan show in AEW. So it's actually like real wrestling heavy that day.
Well, I know we have Dominion is going to be on the 9th. And I know the big highlight of that is going to be Okada versus Jericho. We also have Moxley going against Juice.
Juice. Also known as
At
CJ.
Ahsoka Joe Hall. June 9th. So if you guys got to get on that New Japan World, it's only for $9.99.
I'm happy for Juice Robinson though. He was the jobber to the hottest like the hottest
The
act coming
AKA
in.
CJ Parker.
Yeah.
Mr. Environmental.
And then he went to New Japan, found his niche, and
Yeah. And he was offered big money to come back to the WWE.
I was like, fuck him.
Fuck him.
They don't. That's the thing. Like WWE, they see you getting hot. They're like, yo, you want to come back? Like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's
I like it over here.
But it's kind of at the same time, it's, you know, like how they say, it's a toxic work environment. That you have those guys that they kind of get that a little bit of that creative freedom, and you come in and it's just like, hey, no, here's a script. I need you to go word for word. You don't like it. It's like, I'm giving you shit, and somehow this shit you have to try to turn into gold. And John Cena was one of those guys. He's like, I would come in and I would be handed literally sheets of paper with shit. Somehow he was like, I'll try to go over, try to talk to Vince, try to talk to Michael Hayes or whoever the fuck was in charge that day, and be like, hey, I will not read this shit. And he couldn't do anything, so he was like,
That's crazy.
I had to turn this shit that I was handed to me at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, somehow have all these hours to turn this shit into gold.
Yeah.
So there are guys like, you know, they don't even want to talk to him. Like, Randy Orton is a perfect example. He's just like, I'd rather just go out there and wrestle. Don't if I have to read some shit promo, just have me go out there and just do it. I don't want to do anything like that.
Orton does not play no games.
You know, and that's just how it was.
You know, Orton don't play no games.
No.
You know what his response was when they had to go to Saudi? I got damn kids.
I got kids to feed. I don't give a shit.
Miss me with that politics shit.
I love Randy Orton. He's really like a throwback to an old wrestler. He just shows up, get his bread, and whatever comes with it.
He's one of those very, like, he's the last of the breed. And it's, on top of that, he's been around the block. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because now we got like people that are become professional wrestlers, are like people that watched it and want to become a wrestler.
Yeah,
like,
and
they
his
love it.
his contract is also coming up. He's been also very, open to the ideas
of dipping.
of AEW. He's like, I would love to just sit down with a meeting with these guys just to see what their offer is, and it's not even so much about money.
How would you present Randy Orton in a new way?
Yeah, like that's
promotion.
That's kind of what it is. It's like, I'm very interested and very intrigued to see not only how they run things, but like as talent, how does it work?
How would they use me? And AEW might, if they are able to secure the Viper, they probably have lightning in the bottle because that's his fucking government name.
Yeah.
So he can't come in like Orton Randy.
Orton Randy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't use RKO out of nowhere.
That's Bob's boy.
Yeah, his name would have been Bob's Boy. Cowboy Bob's Boy. So yeah, if they do, AEW would snag up Randy Orton. I think that would be a great move for them. And the thing is, with Moxley coming over and possibly Orton, that shows like some heavy hitters. That's like some true Monday Night Wars.
Even Sasha Banks.
I would love for Sasha Banks.
Oh, we just turned the AEW to WWE late, huh?
Nah, it's just like if you got problems and you kind of nice.
I thought Jericho said he don't want no WWE guys over there.
No, but you know what though? At the same time, as much as, because I get what they're trying to do, but you kind of need somebody.
You need that casual front.
You need not only that casual front, but guys that know how to work live shows. It's a different thing when you're working a TV show. You have these guys that can help groom people who've never done TV shows.
That is true.
It definitely becomes a different aspect.
That's why they got Malenko.
Yeah, the man with 1,000 moves or 1,000 holds.
1,000 holds.
Because Jericho got 1,001.
1,001, and he'll bring you a whole list of that, and he'll give you 3 hours where he'll name every fucking move that he knows.
That probably had been like the funniest shit on cable. 'Cause I remember they said he was reading it and they went to commercial, come back,
and he was
reading
still doing it, and he was like throwing modifications, and I was like, "This is genius." I remember watching. I was like, "He's really going with this."
That shit is funny. The man of a 1,001 holes won, whatever, and they come back from commercial still
And
shouting
he's
it
still
up.
doing it. And I was like, "Wow, this is what you call commitment to the bid."
Nah, Chris Jericho is. I think if Mount Rushmore, you able to add like two more, maybe three more, one more. I feel like he should belong. Like Jericho really is that guy.
Yeah, and at 48, he's still pulling it strong. Same thing with Dustin Rhodes, man.
Yeah, I think he's about to be the only wrestler to like ever compete for like the 5 big U.S. promotions.
Yeah,
ECW, WCW, WWE,
NWA.
NWA, AEW. Like he'd be the last one, the whole circuit.
Yeah.
Been there, done it all.
And at 50, boy, he can still move. He can still fucking move.
Yeah, he probably is. Or like,
Who?
probably thought like Van Damme.
If
But
Van
nah.
Damme goes to AEW. No, because he didn't.
Nah, he
I think
didn't
he
do
had like a
WCW.
Thunder match or something on WCW. I think he had like
Yeah.
a jobber.
Who?
Van Damme.
Nah.
Like I think he was enhancement talent for like one episode, but he
Yeah.
wasn't Van Damme.
No.
In WCW.
No. He was ECW from like the guy. I don't think he ever did anything for WCW.
I think okay.
I guess if Ray would make that move.
Yeah, Ray. I think Ray's the last one. I think after Ray, I don't think there's nobody that could complete the circuit. Wow, that's lit. The Grand Slam. But now I want to talk about Moxley's. Why do you feel like his impact jumping ship from WWE to AEW? How you feel like that's gonna like?
It's gonna work out pretty good. I know he's gonna do some stuff with New Japan, and
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving it. As soon as he left, he said that he feels refocused. Like it was just a weight just thrown off him.
Now you could tell even when he came out for Double or Nothing, like those last 15 minutes did more for him than probably like the last 2.5, 3 years he was in WWE.
Yeah.
Like that last those 15 minutes made him more of a star than his last run in WWE, like the last bit.
But it's also like he said, he feels like an artist again.
That's
Like you can, it's fresh. It's something new. It's something that you don't have to worry about. Like, oh,
sponsors.
I gotta go over to this person because the son of a bitch is gonna tell me, no, you can't do it.
But I will say though, because when he was on the interview, he was like, yeah, well, we don't have to worry about sponsors with the blood stuff. But TNT, when they do go on weekly TV, they're not going for that.
They can't blade?
They're not going
There's
for
no
that.
blood?
Nah, probably a little, but not to the extent that he would want, like
full blood, like every
like
match?
back in the day type. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's that whole blading thing's also really played out.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that it should be done tastefully.
When it's needed.
When it's needed, because there's times like I used to see matches. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this guy, like
Blade just the blade.
it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I just punched you like 10 times in your forehead, and oh, you're bleeding. Okay, great.
Good old Ric Flair special.
Yeah, like it doesn't work. But if you literally, depending on how, like, this match really needs to be like, oh wow, it's a strong one. There's a lot of bad blood into this, and it's become very physical. It becomes very personal.
Like a Triple H Batista Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, like
the blood
then you
is
throw
really
some
needed.
blood, but don't just do it just for fucking shits and giggles because it wears out.
Yeah, you can't see blood every match.
How you felt about Dustin's blade job?
I feel like he just said, I think it fit the story.
Yeah, it fits the story. It was a great.
No, I'm talking about like the actual blade job.
No, it's fine. I saw exactly how it went down.
Do you think
I seen how it went.
I
You think
saw.
he meant to leak like that on
He was
purpose?
crouching
or-
in a corner like, yo, I haven't did a blade in a minute. He was saying that just
No, because he didn't start bleeding until like once he fell out of the ring.
yeah.
It wasn't in. He was already falling outside.
And it was blood too. He was.
Yeah, you just cut a little bit. Then you just start rubbing a little bit, make the blood flow a little bit. But it was a great match. I know Uncle Dave Meltzer gave that a 5-star match.
Yeah, I'm gonna go run down the card.
Oh, I definitely want to.
Which one too?
For Double or Nothing, one of the most hilarious fucking spots.
I think I know what you're talking about, and it was my funniest thing of the night.
Well,
That MJF moment.
Yeah, that But with the Orange Cassidy thing.
Oh, Orange Cassidy, Mr. Cool Whip. It's like he has basically is a different type of wrestling comedy. So I've seen some of his matches and it's just kind of like, all right, he's trying to be suave about it. But the MJF moment where he's literally beating the shit out of this guy with no legs, and then it was just got quiet and he calls them Lieutenant Dan. I was just like, my fucking God, this is the most hilarious fucking thing I've heard in a long time. It was just too perfect. He's just gold. He's definitely gold.
I know Joey Janela almost died with that table spot. I think he's still missing an action from that table.
Nobody's.
That was brutal. But I would say before we get into Double or Nothing, I feel like Moxley jumping over ship. It kind of was reminiscent of Lex Luger coming in that mall.
The Malls of America?
Yeah, like just showing like the first big fish, like the first shot.
Yeah, but it's like at the same time, there was also no surprise that
he'll be on his way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he even before the match started, like he tweeted out like, "Should I show up to Double or Nothing tonight?" So people knew that he was coming.
Yeah, and especially he's had a really good tight relationship with Cody Rhodes. So I wasn't surprised that he was gonna make his at least some sort of appearance with AEW. New Japan, I kind of saw that. I kind of still see him working one death match at least in CZW. I see him making at least one appearance on that.
And I also like how AEW, since they're like wrestling, like the dudes up top are wrestlers, they are allowing talent if you want to like do other shows, because it only hurts. I mean, it helps the brand having your people go otherwhere, like because they are going to come back to AEW, and it just like furthers like continuity.
I mean, it did cause problems though. We did lose a match.
Well, Pac, I think that was his visa. I think something's wrong with his visa though. I don't think there's like.
No, I think word was apparently there was some sort of creative problem. Mm-hmm. He had his visa. It was apparently there wasn't supposed to be any type of issues. So I know
it was a creative problem then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what happened. Some people were talking that maybe he just didn't want to lose against
doing the job, brother.
No one knows.
They fucking Cody and was giving him the sting at WrestleMania, coming in and doing the job.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what happened. That's why they kind of worked the angle over in England, where Adam Page went over, and they got into a little bit of a brawl, and then that was that. And
I was kind of sad because that was like one of the matches I was really looking forward to. I wanted to see Pac, how he'll feel in like a big show that's not in WWE, like when the cuffs is off.
Well, let's see if he makes his way back over there.
I'm ready for it. But yeah, I think it's gonna send major shockwaves. I think on both sides, everybody's gearing up, loading up the arsenal for this very fun fall in the wrestling world.
All right, let's get into the big show then.
Double or Nothing.
But it was good. We got to see Chris Jericho, revealed his new finishing move, the Judas.
Mm-hmm. Sheesh.
I always love how Chris Jericho adds stuff. And he always talks about that. Like, he never wants to stay stagnant. He's always adding.
He's always trying to, like, reinvent the wheel. Also, it was a pretty dope entrance. I like how they show all the phases of Jericho. Mm-hmm. From Y2J to the jacket to the list.
And he was they had Lionheart.
Yeah, I thought that was that was a pretty cool touch.
How y'all felt about that match?
I liked it.
It was good.
Do you think it should have been the main event though?
Yeah, I mean, how can you not have Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho main event?
Yeah, that has to be a main event.
I think it was, of course, name wise, but I think performance wise, it was not the main eventer tonight.
I think I was okay with it. I don't think that it was as good as the first one. As the match, the first match that they had at Wrestle Kingdom. But this one was just as equally as good. I know basically they set up the angle between Jericho and Adam Page for the new AEW heavyweight title.
I think Chris Jericho becomes the first champion.
I think so. I think that's probably
makes the most sense.
It makes the most sense. I think booking wise, I think that makes the most sense because I know Hangman is gonna be like they kind of want to
groom him a little.
He
gets
bit.
the rub being like in the first.
So you're kind of building him up. You can't really just throw the title on him just like that. But I think Jericho will probably be the first one to kind of go and really establish it, and then kind of have Hangman be that chaser.
Yeah, he's gonna be like the AJ Styles.
Yeah, he's gonna be that bulldog. I think it's the right way to do it.
And then when he goes on like interviews and stuff, he like carry the belt. And Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's a name, so like, oh, he has a new belt for a new wrestling promotion. It's not WWE, AEW. Spread the word, type ish. So I think he becomes first champ, and I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. And I know the next event is gonna be on August 31st.
Wait for the falling.
Wait.
Fighter Fest.
Ain't they having an event before that?
I know they have 2 events coming up. It's
I think
Fighter Fest and it's one with the Fallen.
Yeah, but the one I know the one in August 31st. That's gonna be like where the title match is gonna be held.
Nah, it was really cool because trying to find a stream to watch Double or Nothing.
Hey, we don't do that. We don't condone illegal streaming wrestling shows here. We're trying to do things. We're trying to do things by the book, okay?
I don't know about all that.
You know.
I was doing it by the book. I'm saying I'm trying to find a stream.
Let's talk about Omaha Steaks.
It's Father's Day coming up.
So if you guys want some good steaks for a value of $500, you can call now.
There's some good steaks, man.
There's some good steaks. Just use the promo code of the Go Home Show where you can save about 30% on some good filet mignon. And I'm telling you, it is the best filet mignon you'll ever have. They're best in the ones you even get from the supermarket.
That's one Dean Ambrose check if you guys are counting at home.
You haven't tried these steak shit?
Nah, I'm a vegan. They were saying things we're not doing on this show. I was not looking for a stream.
On the card, how y'all felt about the tag match?
The Bucks and Lucha Bros. Match of the night. Hands down, that was.
I like how
it was less than amazing.
I feel the same way.
That's basically the only way I can put it.
They put in their stamp saying tag team wrestling can be fun.
Yeah.
It can be main event of show. There is.
I mean, hands down, they're legit. They are the best tag team right now in the world.
I think so. Yeah. Young Bucks.
That's how I put it. I think they're legit. They've made a name for themselves. I think actively right now in professional wrestling, I think they are the best tag team.
That's crazy. That was Generation
they've been doing it for a long time. There's some guys that are up there that you can say, hey, you know what? They're doing a fucking great job. But I think right now I have them ranked as number 1.
One of the best for me. I wouldn't rank them as
who you doing?
My boys. That's holding down the penitentiary.
The
Usos? Nah.
Talk about week for week. Not just pay-per-views or specials.
No.
So when I see Young Bucks do it on a weekly basis, then I give it to them.
Oh, but they do.
You see it on the
and for me, that's one of the things I also respect about them. That no matter what show they've ever done, even in the indies, or they're for whatever promotion that they're working, they're gonna pull off the same type of material. They're not gonna be one of those. Oh, well, we're working a lesser show. We're not gonna get paid as much money, and we're not gonna go and pull on the same type of moves that we normally do. They go out there and they do the exact same thing every single night. Same, there's some guys that that work that way. Same thing like Will Ospreay. He's that guy that he's gonna go fucking balls to the wall, whether he's gonna wrestle in front of 10 people or 5,000 people or 10,000. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, this kid is gonna fucking legit put his whole body on the line.
It's the Shawn Michaels special.
Yeah, but they'll do it with a smile at least.
Any other matches? Double nothing. Fond of.
We got
the women's 6-man tag was actually pretty good.
Yeah, the Josie match.
Yeah.
I like Kong. Kong was doing her thing.
Kong came back.
She was on fire.
Yeah, that was a nice little surprise they had.
Yeah, nobody knew what was going to happen.
If you had Awesome Kong appearing at Double or Nothing before that show, you probably made a lot.
Chief
of money.
Brandy came in the clutch.
Pulling like a New Day when they was about to introduce the Hardys. They came in out in the gear. It's like, it's one more.
She had a good pop.
Both Kongs in the building.
Yeah, you probably gonna get Kong versus Kong down the line. Not bad. I would like to see that.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So it was definitely good.
SoCal Val and Pulse. Scratch that. SoCal Uncensored.
SCU.
Yeah. Versus the Strong Hearts. I like that match a lot.
It was a good match for to set the
set the table.
Up.
They did their thing. Shout out to Scorpion, Sky, Christopher Daniels, and all them dudes out there. doing their thing. You know, Christopher Daniels been around since, the beginning of Impact, to see him still on
Mr.
deck.
Detroit, Michigan, now part of Southern California.
Yeah. So that was nice to see Christopher Daniels still getting it in.
A fallen angel.
I used to love that name growing up.
Yeah.
You remember we used to walk around with like the fucking camera? It was like, yeah.
There was always one character that will forever be in my mind forever about Christopher Daniels. Curry, man. TNA.
We ain't talking about Seth.
He was spicy.
We're not talking about Seth.
Nah, he was Curry. He was Curry before Dell. Nah, he wasn't Curry before Dell, but he was Curry before Steph and Seth. So he was like the second Curry.
the unofficial Curry.
Yeah, that'd be some funny ass shit. He go to like the Curry house. And, Curry, man.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Nah,
Those are the good TNA days.
Shout out to Del Curry. Del Curry got the most lit life ever, man.
Yeah.
He's a former NBA player.
He's living LeVar Ball's dream right now.
Yeah, fine wife,
Facts.
family.
He's
no
like, my
trouble.
kids are actually like in the NBA.
Yeah. Top guys. Well, top guy.
Top guy, and got another one who's
Getting
just like
top positions.
Another one.
He's living his best life.
Can't complain about that.
This is the one time LeVar Ball is like, man, I'm losing.
Speaking of families, let's get into the Rhodes.
Oh, the Rose family. That match was really
Dusty
good.
Boys.
That was probably like maybe the last match before outside of June's party, because we had that on in the living room. But we watched that in its entirety. It was a really good match. Like I love, like we was talking about with the blood, the storytelling.
It was also a match that was overdue. Because I really wish they would have gotten that match at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And it never happened. It was just.
Then there was like a pre-show on like a B paper. It was like a battleground or something.
It was. I forgot what pay-per-view that match was, but it was shit. It was like, you did this. It was Goldust versus Stardust. It was good how it was going, and then it was just kind of like, all right, this is your match. This is your big payoff, and that's it. It was wrong.
Before the match, how y'all felt about the spot, the H-Man spot?
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, somehow he drew the Joker card. I mean, who would have thought that? He's not wrestling Pac, and he comes in and is like, yeah. So it was what it was.
Yeah, it's like, and that, like you said,
it was a good battle royal with hands down. So I'm not even gonna lie.
Maybe that would have been the plan anyway if they had had the Pac match and he went over. Like, they would have been like the winners between those two matches would have linked up for the. Oh no, because they did it for the battle royal. But oh well, like you said, you got a good rub in it anyway.
Yeah, but it was good. It was entertaining. Tommy Dreamer was in that.
Yeah, like a good little fresh take on the battle royal. Just like today, we have a fresh new angle.
Yeah,
you guys a little bit closer. Full life. Yo, one time I was watching WWE Network. I don't know. I picked like a random episode, just like, you never pick like an old like 80s, 90s just to see like the crowd and shit.
Yeah.
So it was like one cut. I don't know who it was, but they showed him. He was like, I was like, look at this motherfucker. They just cut that. He was like, I think that was like when maybe WCW was like hot, and it was on the WWF show. And he was just like, they cut him. He was like, and then they quickly cut away. I was like, oh yeah.
There was one time I think I spent probably a good month where I just watched the whole build up to this is when Sting came back, and they had this whole 1 year build up basically with him and Hogan.
Oh, the no talk.
Yeah.
And the rafters.
For like literally this was the entire storyline for about a year, and it was great.
I really was a good. Like you said, he was the hero.
Yeah.
You saw like WCW was changing.
I also hated the fact when it was just like, all right, we're splitting. Somehow he ended up joining the fucking Wolfpack. Everybody was NWO.
Then it wasn't even called WCW anymore. It was just NWO versus NWO.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, all right, where do we fucking pull the plug on this?
Yeah, see, they had one idea and they just never had anything.
Everybody was NWO.
Everybody.
They were fucking coming. They were pulling up with like 3 fucking limos.
Fucking craft service was NWO.
You had unknown people. You had fucking Virgil, which in WCW, what he was going for? I always forget because it was literally his characters was literally just a fucking rib the entire time.
Oh, that he wasn't around the $1 Million Man no more.
I mean fucking Virgil. That guy's a fucking special character in real life. You have no idea.
You met him?
Oh, I've kind of know more than just met him for some reason, and this is kind of going back to the first time my first interaction with him was a couple of years ago when I went to Mania in Orlando. So that was 33. I always hold this.
Was that the year everybody was hurt?
Yeah, a lot of people were hurt.
That was the year. That was the Roman Reigns Triple H year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was the injury mania year. That yeah.
So, my boys who are also listening to this, they're gonna have a fucking kick out of this because, there's always been stories and photos where you've actually seen Virgil at all these wrestling signings, and there's nobody at his table. The only thing that he has that people come and are attracted to him is legit is the $1 Million Belt, which I think Ted DiBiase is just like, look, you need this more than I do, whatever. But his signings will always say, oh, you know, Ted DiBiase is also going to be here as well, but he never shows up. It's just Virgil.
It's a cutout. It's a cutout, Ted.
It's just literally just him, and it says, hey, you know, Virgil, and then, you know, $1 Million Man and the $1 Million title, but there's nobody else. It's just him. So you literally, hello? I think my mic cut off. What the fuck? Hello?
I hear you.
All right, I was about to say, I was just like, damn, the creative just all of a sudden just pulled the plug on me.
Now Vince heard you talking greasy.
He was just like, nah, we got to cut the mic off.
Costing us money.
Exactly. So anyways, his table, there's nobody literally goes to his tables at all.
That was the Baron Corbin promo, some shit like that. When he said that Corbin, he was talking about Virgil, like no line at your table.
No, there's no line at the fucking table when it comes to Virgil. Like it's the most hilarious thing, but it's also pretty sad. So anyone who's out there and is listening, like if don't know what I'm talking about,
Virgil.
Just go see Virgil. You can even like Google and you'll see like there's just nobody at his table at all. So I saw him one time and I kind of felt like really bad and was making jokes. Anyway, fast forwarding, I see him at WrestleCon, at Access. He didn't even have a ticket to get in. All I see him literally at the convention center, just like following this random family around. I'm with my boy Dean. And somehow, because like I remember we kind of locked eyes when we were at WrestleCon when we did see him. And, you know, whatever. So we see him and I kind of like, for somehow, he's like at one edge of this like big skywalk. And he sees me from like a pillar. This guy literally stops. He sees me and he's like, Chris, right? And I'm just like, how the fuck does this guy remember his name? I mean, granted, it was from the day before, but I was like, all right, cool. Virgil knows exactly who I am. But it was just so weird how he did it. It was just kind of like he knew who I was. He knew
and 4 other people.
4 other people. He was just like, this guy knew who he was. So I think it's only best if I kind of like actually call him out by his name. But this guy was legit following a family around. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe they just kind of like know each other. But the guy was kind of like, why the fuck is this guy following me? I could not stop laughing, like hysterically, to be honest. So we always made this thing and where if we were to ever like meet Virgil again, kind of like take a group photo or kind of just like have a night out, just like, hey, you know what, just come out with us. But I feel like at the same time, if we were to invite Virgil out, he'll be that one dude that just be like, yeah, you know, just, you know, I'll get the next round. And this motherfucker would never put anything on the tab and just run off. I think Virgil is legit that guy. But then there was also another incident where I actually saw him at Penn Station.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and one thing I think everyone should always know, Virgil is always gear ready. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, like, this guy will have his I think legit he walks around with his wrestling gear under. Because every time that I've ever seen him, I think he's always wearing his wrestling boots. He's always wearing his Under Armour long sleeve tee and some sweats. And I feel like he has his gear under. Like, he's ready for a match. Like, if he needs to get booked,
24/7 title.
No, I think that's what it is.
He's like, you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
You know, but yeah. I think he's always ready to, like, I'm here to get booked no matter what. If you need me, I'm here, you know. But I meet him at Penn Station and we're kind of like going, like crossing. He's like, hey, I know you. And I'm just kind of like, this motherfucker's about to start up. Like, is this about to really happen? He's like, yeah, I remember you. And I was just like, it's Chris, right? I'm like, motherfucker, I met you about a year ago. Like, of all these people, like, is your life... I mean, I think it was kind of cool that he kind of knew who I was. But at the same time, it makes you wonder, like, damn, how much of a fucking low life are you?
Nah, I like Virgil.
Probably follows you on IG. You don't even know.
But at this, probably does. He's probably under like some sort of scare.
Nah, if we ever get a booth at WrestleCon, I'm going to ask him to be placed right next to Virgil. We're going to make Virgil.
I didn't see him this year. I don't think I did, but I still kind of want to like. It's gonna be a rib, obviously, but I feel like I want to have like, yo, you know, Virgil, let's go out.
Party with
Mr.
him.
Jones, come out with us. We'll go to one of the best Japanese cuisine of all time. You know, Fridays.
Come out with the go home show, and you won't go.
We'll take him to
home.
Fridays. They're like, you can only order from the appetizer, and you get one fucking drink. Don't be asking for no top shelf shit either.
I feel like after like we would leave one spot, Virgil's like, all right, where we going next?
Yeah, he's
Like
gonna be
Callahan.
that guy.
Like Cali.
I'm like, yo, Virgil, we calling in tonight.
But yeah, that's that was just kind of a quick story. Maybe I didn't explain it right, but that was my story with Virgil.
How would you guys rate Double or Nothing? What was the final grade, 1 through 10? Or we could go.
Go 1 to 10.
I mean, for me overall, I give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I give it a 8.
I was
Also
gonna say
an
like a 7.5.
7.5, 8. I think that's kind of where
It was like a good thing. Great,
Yeah.
great first impression. There was no real like technical difficulties. There was no like.
even though
blacking out.
there was a bit of a botch. I think in the women's match,
Yeah.
they kind of the 3 count a little bit serious. Is like, you know, she kicked out, dude. And they're ready to run the bell.
Yeah.
I was like, no, what are you doing? I didn't even signal for the bell.
That was bad.
That was the only bleep, but whatever. I mean, it was nothing.
Hey, first show.
Even though everybody was just, everybody was just kind of just shouting like, you fucked up. Which is expected.
I was surprised. I remember I put it in the group chat because I think I was on Reddit or some shit, and somebody was like, it was like $20 to get in. So I thought that was pretty cool for whoever in Las Vegas wanted to check.
Yeah,
it
that was
out.
that was like last minute. It was just like whatever it was.
Just let it go. So I was like, oh, like Las Vegas. I remember somebody he put it up. He was like, yo, tickets to drop in for Double or Nothing if you live in Vegas and want to go. And I guess somebody picked up like 4 3. He was like, yo, thanks. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
They're not doing that for NXT New York or Brooklyn. That's definitely happening.
I know tickets were actually going down for takeovers last night. They were,
Oh yeah, because of Connecticut too.
yeah, it was in.
It was like
it
they'll
was
get
in
you for the hype.
Bridgeport,
Right? They'll get you for the hype, and then once they were like, oh shit.
but it was a big show.
We should have made our way to CT.
That would have been lit. We should have. Maybe something's close. We go home show on the road to NXT Takeover and take over.
But takeover last night did not disappoint as usual.
Not at all.
Every match was as good as it was.
I've seen 3. I gotta watch 2 more. I've seen the opener, tag team ladder, and then Gargano Cole.
My favorite match of the night was Strong Riddle.
Dad.
Bruh.
Yo.
It was definitely a good match. I was actually very surprised. It wasn't a great match, but there were some things that I was like, yo, this is really good. The Shayna Baszler and Io Shirai. There was a nice spot, and it was towards the end, and Shirai kind of just hit Baszler with the moonsault, actually with a chair.
Yeah, that was hard.
That was spoiler.
ECW flow.
It was pretty fucking dope. I think that was like the first time
Like a women's spot with weapons.
in some ways, for some who don't really watch like a lot of other stuff, like this was actually probably the first time I think I've ever seen anybody pull something off like that.
I think they're setting up for a no DQ match in
Yeah.
the next takeover, the final match between
Yeah,
them.
Candice LeRae come out with the Kendall stick and started whipping awkward Jasmine Duke and Marina. I'm sorry, she's just so awkward.
She reminds me of the dude that's like the lead in like Detective Pikachu. And because he was in Jurassic Park too, like the last one, and he was just so stiff. Like, you know what I'm talking about? The light-skinned dude?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I know you.
Even went to go see Detective Pikachu, my friend, because I told him about him, and he thought I was just like goofing around. And
First of all, I'm assuming you saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just me, but I thought it was actually a really good watch.
I liked it. It was good for what it was. Like,
Exactly. I went in with no expectations. I was literally just bored. That I think I actually saw it when it came out, and the theater was actually packed.
Oh, you
and
got the AFC thing you was telling about.
damn
earlier.
right. Which, by the way, for $20 a month, you can actually see all the movies you want.
Yeah, I'm about to hop on that.
A month. You can see 3 movies a week, Don't matter what it is, whether it's IMAX, regular 2D, 3D, Dolby, whatever the fuck.
Code. You don't have to buy your girl's ticket because you
Nah.
got your ticket paid.
Exactly.
She's like, how you getting tickets? Like, oh,
I got this.
We're giving you the summertime sauce, guys.
Especially if you hit over with the Tuesday and be like, yo, wow, we really got great seats. And it's like, yeah, $5, babe. What's really good?
Well, you buying tickets? Like, oh, my tickets already cops.
We already got, but you can buy your ticket. Don't worry about it.
Like, I probably got popcorn or something, but I ain't got your ticket. But no, it was really cool. But like you said, like her, she's not there yet. She's very green and just stiff. She just doesn't know what's going on.
I don't know. It's just her whole demeanor. She is just like so awkward. She's like Big Bird. I'm sure she's a very lovely girl. I don't know her personally, but she is just like, and I think many people would probably agree. Like if you ever actually watch her, she's just like so long, so lanky. Like just like also like her body demeanor, her charisma is just like so like lanky and awkward. That's just the only way I can honestly describe it.
In the words of Austin Aries, got the charisma of a clearance. That was the funniest shit said on commentary that year. That shit was so funny.
Oh man,
I miss Austin Aries on commentary.
Yeah. Well, I used to love when he used to always come out and then he'll always have a fucking banana.
How you felt about the ladder match?
Ladder match was great. I don't know what's going on with NXT in these ladder matches. Whoever's putting them shits together, probably Shawn Michaels, but them shits is really good.
Probably.
Shout out to Street Profit.
And I like the way that the camera angle, because I was watching it today, and then the Forgotten Sons, like when he won it, when that jump.
Yeah.
And then I like that camera angle, like he wasn't expecting it.
But because they kind of like botched the finish with that one.
Who did?
Camera wise. Because you couldn't really see
the full jump from the rope to the...
No, they had to go... that definitely had to show the replay a couple of times. Because I didn't catch, and I was watching, I was just like, oh, like, this is actually, like, pretty dope. I like how everybody in the crowd literally had their solo cups.
Yeah, I wonder who's passing out solo cups.
There's always a guy at the event.
That sits on the hard camera side that passes out that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it, like, for every event that I've been to. They've done it even for Bailey... Or for Becky, the whole, hug section, the Cesaro one. Like, there's actually... at first, I thought it was just some random guy who was just like, no, we want to, like, try to put this person over. But I'm also convinced that legit that is, like, someone from production that is just like, all right, we want to make this. And it's always kind of, like, around the same section.
Yeah, the middle. And then, like, the first few rows.
It's always the same thing. A lot of the events that I've been to, they're always passing out these signs. The solo cup was just, like, probably the cheapest thing. It was just like, I just need to go to Lot Less or something like that, or Target. I need you to get these red solo cups.
Oh my god!
Making shit happen.
Who the hell was the NXT intern that had to go to buy them damn solo cups?
Yo, but it wasn't a small section. That whole side.
Yeah, that whole shit had cups.
I was like, yo, this is fucking dope. The best part also was the photo at the end. Them taking
what's his name?
The photo with Triple H, Hunter Hearst Hennessy.
Hearst Hennessy, my man with a red solo, boy.
I was just kind of like, this is what's up.
Shout out to Kyle O'Reilly. Back. I don't know if y'all seen a picture of his back.
No,
He was like Finn in the Money in the Bank.
Kyle O'Reilly, he's a gem. He's literally a gem.
I'm trying to think what's one of my favorite spots from that match. I do like it. I love ladder matches when a member in it has like not like a lackey, but somebody else that's on the team and they come down and try to help out. Yeah, like Lita. You remember like the TLC from
Yeah. Speaking of, because the dude came out during the match.
I love that. I love when a dude that's a guy or a girl that's associated with said team comes down during the ladder match.
When they all came together and just jumped them.
He was fucking shit up for a minute.
For a minute, I'm like, is he gonna win the strap? Because he was looking up. He kept looking up.
I was just like, is this gonna happen?
No, then we'd have had a whole James Ellsworth situation on our hands again.
Yeah, but Riker was definitely he became a really cool focal point. He was kind of like that mercenary.
He was like a fucking Terminator. I'm like, what's going on? He was taking hits. My favorite spot in the match is when they had the ladder. I think it was the Forgotten Sons, and they were swinging the ladder through the ring, and then Ford jumped out the ring, he ducked under, and then he went over the top.
Now Montez Ford was a beast in that match. He had a couple of really great spots. He had that, the leapfrog, and then the blockbuster when it was on him like the Road Warrior setup. So shout out to Montez Ford and the Street Profit or the shimmying and winning. Yeah, I feel like the Street Profits, if they go on the main roster, I feel like they're really gonna catch fire if booked right.
Ford is a star.
He's a star, man, and I like the theme song. And then they got party solo cups. Like that was kind of cool watching them celebrate with everybody with red solo cups. Like it was really like a really great shot, and you could like see potential down the line with that. Like show somebody wrestling, because every time we show somebody wrestling, there's always like some weird shit or somebody throwing pancakes.
I also think a lot of people don't give them a lot of credit, but they're fucking hard-nosed motherfuckers. With Orny Lorcan and Danny Burch.
They're good.
Like,
I
I remember just the build-up for them kind of even getting together in NXT.
Like
they would have these legendary fucking matches. It was like it's, you want to talk about strong style, like these motherfuckers can bring it. And then having them together, like they're fucking awesome. I know they missed out. They had a match, I believe, was about a year ago, because I remember I think it was Lorcan was probably out with an injury, or Burch, but they had that match with the Undisputed Era, and
oh yeah, that match. I know what you're talking about. That was
great. But they, they're definitely one of those very underrated tag teams that a lot of people don't kind of give them much credit for.
I actually like the Street Profits winning too, because it's not the because went from Undisputed Era to like nobody was beating the War Raiders. I like saying that name. Nobody was really touching the War Raiders. So
you mean the Viking Experience?
No, not them. But now it's kind of it's kind of cool seeing the Street Profits gaining, because then it's like the whole tag team's on like even playing field now. It's like a little reset button.
I'm also glad, I know they were doing some stuff with Evolve, but it's nice that they're kind of getting now some shine.
Bring the swag like nobody.
It'll be interesting to see, like, after I guess Shayna like dips off up top. Like,
I think Shayna has one last match in TakeOver. I think that's she's giving it up after.
Like where they put Bianca, with the women's strap with the Street Profit tag team champs.
No.
Yeah, because they haven't opened up that door yet on TV. I don't think they ever acknowledged Montez and Bianca besides like the 24/7 Chronicle stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's on TV, but I like it because I'm all for like real relationships blending over to TV.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes it gets done a little too
much.
Kind of like with the whole Becky and Seth thing. Somehow, like, I don't understand why WWE now are just like they're really
pushing that home.
Yeah, like they're really putting that in your face. Like, I don't really care.
It's the man.
Like I'm not too sure. I gotta say this: if my man Andrade and Charlotte are not getting any burn, I don't give a fuck about anything else.
That's why I want that, because that would be super dope.
Don't worry, they're getting they burn somewhere else.
And Charlotte's like, I got my Latin poppy.
You see her taking classes?
Yeah, she's taking that salsa lesson.
Yeah, Tranquilo for real.
Yo,
Andrade living his best life.
You get a little bit of that Spanish Latino heat.
That spice.
That's it. Give a little white girl a little bit of Latino. She's just like, oh, I'm done.
Spicy mayo now.
That'd be kind of cool. That's what I always said. Like if you use in like real life relationships and blend them on TV. Hold up, because it just came to my head before I lose it. So if they ever do bring that'd be pretty cool if they could bring Ric Flair and he become like a little mentor for like Andrade. Not like a mentor, but like a running mate, because he parties and stuff, and Rick loves to party.
Now you know what they could use it for though? For the mixed tag team thing, they could use it for that.
No, they could. They honestly could. One of the things that I was laughing, because there was
I think that might be the next belt. Mixed tag team.
I hope not.
No, once he said that,
I
feel like it may be true. Go ahead, Chris.
I don't, and the thing is, like, I don't mind these the mixed tag team. I am actually all for it. I actually like it a lot. But I wish they kind of give it something with more meaning. They were okay with it this year, where the winner kind of got the 30 spot. I was okay with that, but like, I want this to kind of really become like more focused, because they kind of really separated, and instead of kind of really involving it into like
the main shows,
not only the main shows, but like in the actual, I want to say, the main roster storyline world. Oh, like sometimes they kind of really separate it.
Yeah, it's like a one-off.
Yeah, and it's kind of like if you were to kind of like bring that in, like, hey, you know what, this person kind of has some sort of history.
It was like fan fiction.
Yeah, like that's how it is. But what I was gonna go by actually, and Lance Storm, God bless him. He made a comment actually because he saw the video of Charlotte, taking her salsa lessons, and he was just like, "Kayfabe, honey, don't let Vince know you know how to salsa because he'll incorporate that in your gimmick somehow." So it's best if you just don't show this video because once Vince knows you know how to dance, he's gonna be like, "Oh, somehow we gotta incorporate Fandango into this."
Vince loves dancing.
Yeah, Vince. You've seen those old '80s shows. Vince rocking.
He got the collar pop.
He's
Acting
just,
like he's on Friday or Saturday Night Live and
yeah, he's thinking he's
Saturday
like
Night Fever.
fucking John Travolta, fucking Saturday Night Fever.
Stand back. I think DX had like the funniest shit when it was like mocking that, like 2005, 2006.
Yeah, I remember.
And they had the little fucking dance.
I remember.
That shit was so funny. Like, stand back.
That was when they were mimicking Shane and
doing I can't stop. Doing the Spirit Squad days.
Yeah, that was a really fun angle.
Yeah, I think that was probably like one of the last old WWE-ish like Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah, that was definitely towards
that was
towards
like
the
the
end.
last of the last.
Yeah, that was a year before the Benoit thing happened.
Yeah, that was right before everything.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
It's not if it's not on the network. I don't recall.
It's still in your mind. You still got it there.
It must be that person.
I don't think he. I don't even think Benoit would even.
It is on the network. It's on WrestleMania 20 final match. So
Oh, you mean they don't even show? They barely show the celebration. The Dream has no recollection of this.
Speaking about the person who shall be not named, it's actually kind of giving me like his vibes.
Who?
Roderick Strong.
Who?
Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong.
A little Benoit vibes.
Let's hope not.
No,
Yeah.
not that type of vibe.
I'm saying, what kind of vibe are you talking about? Huh?
Ring only. But he seems like that type of workhorse, just going there.
Yeah, he's always been like that, even from like days, his Ring of Honor days. Like, he's a workhorse.
He's just here for the match.
Yeah,
he ain't here for the politics or the brouhaha. He's just here to have a good match.
I'm just here.
And go to the next city and do it again.
By the way, random match I think a lot of people should kind of watch because I know in New Japan they're doing their the best of Super Junior. So if you get a chance to watch Will Ospreay and Bandito go at it, 5-6-star match. Just throwing it out there if you guys want to.
It's been a lot of 5-star matches this year. I guess everybody's really up in their game.
Everybody's up in their game.
Everybody is up in their game this year. Like,
Noto can't keep count. He's like,
oh,
what's going on?
I think it might go to 8.
I'm telling you. Just have all these starred matches at the Tokyo Dome. He's gonna be like, I'm throwing out 9-star matches now. It's the only way to break 5 stars. It has to be taking place at the Tokyo Dome.
That is true. Because that's when he gave him 7. And
He gave him 7.
That shit was so fake. Everybody was so hyped. That's like, what Meltzer gonna say? He's like, I got y'all.
7. What? Oh, he's breaking the bank with this one.
It's like 7 stars.
Which rightfully so. It was a fucking great match. So that kind of deserved the stars as well.
I didn't get a chance to check out Dream and Breeze. How was the match?
Great match.
Great match.
Mm-hmm. Great match.
It was definitely a good match.
That was like a good reintroduction back for Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was good. Didn't disappoint. And I'm kind of glad that he's back there because he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, he wasn't doing shit.
I did like some of the build-up promos to it. Where Dream was just like, just because you were stuck in catering on Monday and Tuesday, don't mean you can just come down here and challenge me for my title. So that was actually
bars.
Did they keep the thing with Tyler Breeze with like the person would announce him when he comes into the building, or is that? But that didn't go down.
What do you mean?
Like early in NXT, like maybe like around the Rival, like the first one.
Yeah.
I remember he had like a gimmick where like somewhere during like the whole event, like a lady will be like, Tyler Breeze has just entered the building. I don't know if they kept that or
no, but they do kind of like mention like, oh, this is his season right wherever he's living currently.
That's the season.
That's like, oh, he's currently his spring residency. He's staying somewhere in Monaco or some shit like that. So they kind of did keep that. I think this one he's saying in Palm Springs.
Yeah, it was a good
summer
introduction, and you could tell they got some stuff going further down the line for him NXT and stuff.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be.
And it was
there.
a good first matchup.
It was good because Fandango's off with a knee injury, and I don't know what they're planning on doing. But I'm glad that they're kind of like using him back. Some people will look at it as demotion, but I think
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's like, yo, Tyler, you going to
NXT? He was kind of like, oh,
he got his bags quick.
He was just like, you know what? You don't even have to send me a ticket. I got some miles. I use my own shit.
My man was like ends on Friday. Nigga.
He was out. He was just kind of like, I'm home, boys. And some of those guys that just got called up, it was like, I envy Tyler. You fucking lucky bastard.
He was going.
He was just like, free at last, free at last. Creative is not gonna fucking botch me this time.
As soon as you seen H-Man, he had that big smile. Like,
I wonder if he's gonna have like a Tyson Kidd kind of resurgence down there, like get his act and stuff together, get some.
I hope he gets definitely in corp a little bit more. But I thought this was a good match. If I was to kind of put my little Dave Meltzer on it, I'd definitely give it a good 4 1/4.
Okay.
4 1/4. I think that was a good match.
That's the first thing I'm checking out when I
4
get
1/2. It was honestly like it was a fucking great card. Gargano, Adam Cole, great match.
Yeah, really good match.
boom.
Even I didn't like the rapper entrance. I don't.
You ain't like it?
Oh, Hustle and Flow.
I loved it.
My man Josiah Williams. Yeah, he was doing his thing.
He doing his thing,
He was
huh?
out of breath. But I want to know who the hell looked at the Undisputed Era and be like, all right, he need a rapper. Like, nothing
Cool
about that.
entrance. It was cool.
I thought it was. Yeah, I loved it.
Especially since he won the strap too.
Oh yeah, he had the special entrance, get the strap.
Your man, somebody pointed out that Adam Cole delivered the V trigger, which it was just the G to go to sleep.
Oh yeah, he did do a go to sleep on because even Morrow said it.
Yeah, big botch.
Even I think Matt Riddle hit a brain buster, I believe, in the match. Yeah, I thought I was seeing things, but that's why I had to come and ask. But he hit a brain buster.
They was just like, fuck him. Let's just
I like the Gargano Cole match. I like the story. I liked how Cole did it his way. No interference. I love like how he teased interference. Played on that. Like
I thought people like they was gonna come out, and then I was like, I'm glad they didn't come out. It was just like a clean finish and stuff like that.
You could tell like Adam Cole is like Triple H's like pet project.
I wouldn't call it a pet project, to be quite honest.
Not pet project, but I feel like Triple H kind of sees himself in like a little bit of Adam Cole
and Sean.
Yeah, because that was like some Triple H shit. Like he'll be like all wasted. He'll be like,
well, I know they were really big. They really wanted to sign Adam Cole for
a minute,
for a while, and finally, when his deal was coming up with Ring of Honor, like they jumped at it.
Now he's a star. You can even tell when he was in Indies, like he was made for like WWE and for like the big time.
Speaking of the Indies, Moxley at one point brought up in a follow-up interview how y'all felt about this. He said that he didn't like that Triple H started signing all the indie guys.
Well, that was that's what I call the CM Punk effect, to be quite honest.
Yeah, one of my producers from the outside is El Rudy. He always says this. He was like, he didn't really like Triple H because it's like once he got CM Punk out of here, he was doing all the shit that CM Punk said needed to happen. Like basically like taking his shit and then not really giving credit for like the person that really wanted.
I mean, at the end of the day, it helped out. Mm-hmm. I think that it helped elevate NXT to a whole definitely new level. And I think it incorporated especially in the main roster. But who knows what's going to happen, let's say, another year or two from now. Maybe we're looking at some long-term booking. A lot of people are bitching about Vince McMahon ruining WWE. Some people are saying, the guy's going to die in a chair or something like that. Maybe it becomes one of those things where him and Triple H have a match at WrestleMania somehow. Winner takes all, and somehow Vince and stuff still coming over. Mm. And he's just like, this is always going to be my company.
He's definitely going to die on the chair.
Yeah, who knows?
Takeover rate?
I got it at
an 8.
I got a 9.
See, mine's is invalid because I haven't seen the rest of the matches, but from what I've seen, the 3 matches, I give it an 8. So
I give it an 8.7.
So it look like I got 0.7 to go.
I give it an 8.7.
Well, when you hear that Adam Cole, baby, you might add a couple.
I'm going to watch the entrance again. I think because I came back in and I just saw a rapper with Adam Cole, and I thought I like walked into the Twilight Zone.
You were like, what the fuck is this shit? No, I'm not gonna lie. It did catch me a little bit off guard because I was like, hold up, what's going on? Then I see the kid, the kid from Wrestling Flaw. I was like, all right, okay, I'm gonna let this rock. So it was definitely new. It was fresh.
Trying to reach the demographic. Just trying to reach the culture.
Gotta do it for the culture.
You like this match better or the New York match better?
I like the New York match better.
I don't know. That 2 out of 3 falls match was fucking great. I don't know. I think I would have to watch both of them, and then make my assessment there. So maybe that I can leave that for next episode.
Oh yeah, we could get it back. But I like the New York match better just because Undisputed Era was in there.
Or I like to call it NXT Takeover Brooklyn 5.
Yeah, that one.
Same venue. Don't act because it's like, we've already done we've done this Brooklyn shows way too much. We can't do another 5.
Like, nah, it's not Brooklyn. It's just New York. It's Barclays Center though, but
yeah. Nobody would know the fucking difference. They were like, I don't know, maybe some Brooklyn 5 was somehow like copyright, and it's like, oh, we can't use this. You got to go take over New York right now.
Well, yeah.
What did you like? You like this match or the New York match?
Probably would have to watch it again. I think I like this match better because last match Gargano was like getting hit with the finish is crazy.
My thing, I think what I loved about, I kind of would lean over towards the TakeOver New York one just because that was more of a big storyline. How everything tied up at the end, especially having Tommaso Ciampa come in and really congratulate Johnny from actually finally winning, the big one. His way.
Wrestling.
I think it was, it was good poetry. So I think that I would have to lean a little bit more towards that.
And it was the chop end to that.
Yeah, it really was. I think it really showed like the grittiness, like how much of a bulldog Johnny Gargano is. His everything, again, if you look at it from how everything's been booked for the last 3 years, that was kind of really like the pinnacle. So even him losing, sorry, I don't know if there's some spoiler who hasn't watched it or not. But I think him, losing didn't diminish anything at all.
I don't think I think they're gonna go one more time.
Oh yeah, you have to. You have to.
I was thinking maybe like a steel cage. I feel like they're gonna be, that match is gonna have a gimmick. I don't know what it's gonna be, but that third between Cole and Gargano,
honestly, they don't even have to.
Yeah, they don't have to. You know why? Because this match, nobody from Undisputed Era came out.
Yeah, this was clean.
So if somebody would have came out, it's like, all right, the only way we could do this if steel cage. Or
they could do that, but they don't have to. Like, this was a clean one-on-one.
Well, I know you're talking about the arcs. It's funny when I was watching this match earlier, I was like, damn. I remember when he fucking beat Ricochet by using the damn Ciampa trick, and just to see like you said, like because it was so funny when he won like that, because he embracing the dark side. So just to see Johnny Gargano's, I feel like this storyline, this arc is probably the best shit NXT has done. Like long-term booking wise and storyline wise, like this whole.
It's also a different set of writers. I know Road Dogg right now is going to be full-time writer in NXT. Vince was just like
getting the boys down there.
Vince completely dumped Road Dogg, and he was just like, I can't do anything, because he was another one that got stifled by Vince. He's just like, I don't really give a shit. I'm just literally gonna come up with the most random shit, and maybe they'll go for it. And he was another one. He got tired. He's just like, I don't really care. I really don't.
Jeff Jarrett sort of took his place back, like main roster wise. He's like been backstage a lot.
JEFF JARRET.
That's right.
Double J.
Jeff Jarrett.
I like that. But no, fun weekend, guys. Fun week in wrestling as a whole. I think this was a very great week in wrestling. Like we said, we had the Moxley, Shockwave with the debut and then the podcast, and then we had 2 really great shows in Double or Nothing and TakeOver leading the way. And we got that A-Rab Monday next week.
Woo.
Super Showdown.
Yeah, man. Taker's coming on tomorrow night.
Taker and Goldberg.
One night only.
Bring out your AARP cards.
No, it was with the Saudi prince once.
I'm waiting for that 24/7 title to get somehow
On the
defended
Saudi
in the fucking in the desert. I'm waiting for that angle.
You know what I think?
Something has to happen.
They could probably use like the 24/7 to like bring back a legend or two somewhat. You know
I
what
think
mean?
it's gonna happen. I definitely see that.
Like maybe backstage and catering, they slip and fall, and then
Yeah, and it's just you just
do like
sleep.
the Gerald Briscoe sleep.
They're like 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Anything lit for you guys? Anything went down this week? Proud of? Happy?
I can't talk about those things.
Yeah.
I have some.
Yeah, Chris went out to Montreal. Shout out to Montreal. We went international. 1/3 of us did,
You know what happens in Montreal stays in Montreal.
except for the Canadians.
I got
They go all
I got
over.
a few questions off air.
For who?
Seen a couple of things.
What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
When you went to Montreal?
What about it? What about it?
Nah. I'll save my thoughts.
You gonna say your thoughts?
I said I'm gonna save my thoughts.
I mean, we're in the air now. You might as well say what you gotta say.
Nah.
What, you trying to blow up my spot because we both got hot?
Nah, I'm not trying to blow up your spot.
Why blow up my spot? Because we both got hot. Y'all niggas is funny. Before we dip out of here, predictions for the Super Showdown will be a super great or super letdown.
I'm just gonna watch it for the pyros.
I'm about to say, I think we treat these Saudi Arabia shows like they're WWE, but they just like
They're not making it important enough. It's just kind of like we're here to collect our money, which, to be honest, rightfully so. If I was
that
like,
check?
I'll be happy if you give me a $10 million check just to fucking show up. I'm good. You know, like Randy Orton said, you know, I got fucking kids.
I don't think I'm gonna watch any of the old timers wrestle.
no take a Goldberg.
It's still gonna happen. You know, you're still gonna get your 20-minute Undertaker entrance. They're gonna show Goldberg, you know, from the airport, making his way in. You know, getting.
Coming from DDP's house doing yoga.
You know, they're gonna show the
I think you know who does Goldberg's entrance the best.
Gilbert.
Yeah, I was
I know you.
that shit is so funny.
Gilbert.
They use the damn sparklers.
Oh, that was.
the extinguisher. Like you talk about a parody when Vince McMahon was in his prime. That shit was literally. I'm pretty sure Eric Bischoff. And
I did like that we were able to actually see the dream match between Gilbert and you know, one of the greatest GOATs, Mr. James Ellsworth. We got that in the Indies.
Is he still around? 'Cause I know he had the.
Yeah,
the
he's getting paper now.
Ellsworth.
Ellsworth's getting his papers in the Indies.
Oh, okay. I know he had his little trouble. I ain't hear from it. Like that's when his started.
It was bullshit. Yeah, like they ended up lying. Nothing happened. He got cleared of all charges because everybody was already like, oh, you know, Ellsberg did this. He did this. Ellsworth. You know, it's like.
Wait till a whole.
It's
story.
public. It becomes public persecution. A lot of people nowadays just kind of want to be like, "Oh, well, he definitely did that." If this person is saying, it's just like, "Yo, shut the fuck up. Wait till the facts come out. Wait till the police report, and then just make your assessments on from there." But a lot of people were kind of already giving him shit, and he got a bad publicity for it. And some people weren't booking him until they're like, "Well, we're not too sure whether this happened or not. We don't want any negative backlash if we were to book you." So. It's really fucked up. I can go on and on, but I feel like the same way that you have women out here that are accusing men, and for these rape allegations, I feel like the way
you mess with somebody.
Not only you messing with somebody, but I feel like it's at the same time you should fucking get some sort of repercussions of this.
Yeah, false rape is not okay.
I think just be able to slap him a bitch here and there. I was like, do I have to go and choke a bitch?
That's what did Enzo win.
Yeah, and that was another one.
Sheesh.
They fucked Enzo up with that shit.
Especially Raw 25, because everybody going crazy already.
Yeah.
They was like, yo, Vince McMahon, he got a rape. What?
Oh, we can't have this on the show.
On Raw 25, where everybody is looking, so it was bad, but he seems he came out of it. And I think, like you said, that proved to be untrue.
Yeah, it was definitely true. There was insufficient evidence. And again, I thought it was really fucked up. They ended up letting him go. I know everybody had his thing because he was uncomfortable to work with and all this shit.
Yeah, that was just the story.
Yeah, and then a lot of people were at the same time how like, oh, Enzo's a piece of shit. It's like, you don't know the fucking guy. Who the fuck are you to come on and say like, oh, he's this and yeah, because you heard people say it? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Get the F out.
You know, they're like, oh, he's, you know, I'm glad he's out of WWE. He was making WWE bad, blah, 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 blah.
He was their best talker. He was actually their best talker since The Rock.
Yeah, like...
I would say, like, Enzo legit, you talk about people who can't carry a stick or cut a promo.
No.
Like, he legit can do that like it was. But shout out to Enzo. This is episode 6.
Not the 5th, but the 6th.
I mean, this is the 5th for Chris, but
This is the 5th for Chris, you know.
5th for Chris. That's
I know
his
people
nickname.
were kind of missing me out there. There was just like, oh, why Chris ain't on this
We lost like
podcast?
all our Latino audience.
Yeah, so the demographic isn't there, but I'm able to bring that back, bring some entertainment, some charisma back.
Oh my God. But yeah, lit episode, guys. Catch y'all next.
We out.
We out. Oh my God.